text, audio, and video news of the globe from Scientific Television. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe with us. Thank you.
Now listen to the headline news. Trump faces heat from MAGA base on America First agenda, Epstein. TSA workers to receive bonuses post-government shutdown. Russia's security service claims to have foiled Ukrainian assassination attempt against a high-ranking official. Stronger support needed so Chinese Australians can freely criticize Beijing. Academic. Traders bet on Zohran Mamdani deportation odds on Kalshi and Polymarket. Johnson shifts strategy on Epstein files vote as GOP leaders brace for mass defections. Russian spy ship detected just miles from Hawaiian coastline prompts U.S. Coast Guard response. Maduro tells people in the U.S. to unite with Venezuela for peace of the Americas. K-pop star Hyuna collapses mid-performance, sparking concern over recent weight loss. Colorado athletic director who hired Deion Sanders to step down. Now listen to the detailed news. Recent political tensions have emerged within the MAGA movement after President Donald Trump stated that the United States needs more foreign workers due to a shortage of talented people. This comment triggered strong criticism from several MAGA leaders, conservative influencers, and even longtime Trump allies such as Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene. At the same time, Republicans continued pushing for the release of federal files related to Jeffrey Epstein, despite Trump dismissing the matter as a Democratic distraction. Various MAGA commentators expressed dissatisfaction with Trump's positions on foreign workers, H-1B visas, and aid to foreign nations, creating visible friction within the movement. The United States has ended the longest government shutdown in its history, lasting 42 days after President Donald Trump signed a bill funding the government through January 30, 2026. Following the shutdown's conclusion, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced 10,000 bonuses for TSA employees who continued working without pay. During a press event at Bush Airport in Houston, she personally distributed checks and recognized staff such as TSA agent Rico Walker for extraordinary dedication. The shutdown's resolution involved bipartisan voting in both chambers of Congress, reinstatement of terminated federal workers, and guarantees of back pay. In a significant escalation of covert hostilities, Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, has claimed it foiled a Ukrainian plot to assassinate a high-ranking Kremlin official during a visit to a cemetery outside Moscow. This allegation emerged alongside a surge in overt military attacks, with Russian aerial strikes on Kyiv killing at least 4 people and wounding 27, including children. Simultaneously, a Ukrainian drone attack on the Russian port city of Novorossiysk wounded several people and damaged an oil depot. This cycle of claim and counterstrike highlights a war being fought on multiple fronts, both on the battlefield and in the shadows. Professor James Lawrenson, director of the Australia-China Relations Institute, has said that Australians, including politicians, should not fear speaking out against Beijing. His remarks were made during the Brisbane Dialogues, where he appeared alongside journalist Cheng Lei, who spent nearly 3 years in a Chinese prison before being released following Australia's diplomatic pressure. Cheng Lei has publicly shared that many Chinese Australians live in fear of Beijing to the extent that interpreters avoid translating anti-CCP messages in public. Other critics of the Chinese Communist Party, such as Canadian human rights lawyer David Matas, have also faced threats, harassment, event cancellations, and intimidation while attempting to speak in Australia about human rights abuses tied to Beijing. Online prediction markets, Kalshi and Polymarket, have become a focal point for political speculation, with traders actively wagering on the odds of New York City's newly elected mayor, Zoran Mamdani, being deported by the end of the year. While the implied probability is considered a long shot, currently sitting at 3% on Kalshi and 1% on Polymarket, the mere existence of such a market is notable. This event coincides with public skepticism about Mamdani's status from figures like former President Donald Trump, despite the mayor-elect being a naturalized U.S. citizen since 2018. The U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson has decided to rapidly schedule a vote on a bipartisan bill demanding the full release of all Jeffrey Epstein case files. This vote, supported by both Republican Rep. Thomas Massey and Democratic Rep. Ro Khanna, has gained strong momentum in the House, with many lawmakers prepared to break from President Donald Trump's position. After months of delay attempts by House leadership and the White House, the push for transparency has become politically unavoidable as the bill's support grows toward a potential veto-proof majority. Recently released batches of Epstein-related emails and internal pressure within the House have strengthened calls to act immediately. The U.S. Coast Guard announced it detected and is monitoring a Russian military intelligence vessel, the Karelia, operating approximately 15 nautical miles south of Oahu, Hawaii. In response, the Coast Guard deployed an HC-130 Hercules aircraft from Air Station Barbers Point and the cutter William Hart to conduct a safe and professional observation of the ship. The vessel, a Vishnya-class spy ship equipped with extensive signals intelligence gathering equipment and satellite links, was operating in international waters but in close proximity to U.S. territory. Tensions in the Caribbean have escalated significantly, with the United States deploying a substantial military force, including 15,000 personnel and over a dozen warships, like the USS Gerald R. Ford, to conduct strikes on alleged drug trafficking vessels. In response, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has publicly called for peace and unity in the Americas, while simultaneously mobilizing his country's military and civilian militias for defensive exercises. This has created a standoff, with the U.S. justifying its actions as anti-narcotics operations, and Caracas viewing them as a prelude to a potential invasion or regime change. K-pop star Shen Ah collapsed on stage during a performance of her hit song Bubble Pop on November 9 at a music festival in Macau, sparking widespread concern among fans. After falling mid-performance, she later apologized on social media, saying she did not remember the incident and would work on improving her stamina. Fans responded with messages of support, emphasizing that her health should be prioritized. The collapse gained additional attention because Hyuna had recently posted social media updates about her weight and shared a photo of her body weight on a scale just days before the event.